me like a Hellcat.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Lucy if you're coming across me for the first time. And if you like what I do, please consider subscribing and also click on the notification bell so each time I upload a video you get notified. And for my subscribers, I thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate you. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much and thank you for watching. Okay, let's go into today's video. Today I'll be talking about I'll be discussing about three things that you need to know if you're traveling to Western countries. I will use Africa because that is my route. So if you're traveling from Africa to Western countries, these are the three things that you need to know. Number one thing is the cost of living. The cost of living is usually different. When you come to this part of the world, before you settle down, definitely, even if you're going to stay in a hotel, you still need to have, because you can't keep paying for hotel for a very long time. So definitely you will need to look for an apartment. And by looking for an apartment, I just want to let you know, apartment in this part of the world, in the Western country, is usually monthly. It is not yearly, because most times in Africa, there are some countries in Africa that they pay yearly. Like where I'm from, it's yearly that we pay. So definitely, or maybe more than. So that's one thing that you need to have in mind. You have to pay monthly. And coming for the first time, so definitely it's going to be like, it's going to be something that is so surprising to you, because you'll be like, why am I paying this amount for an apartment? Why back home? No, yes, that is how it is, because you still have the mindset of how much, what you get from your income back home and everything. But now you're here. Why? You're here, you've not started earning, so definitely there's no way that you will be able to be okay for you. It's never going to be okay for you, except maybe you start working and everything, you start fitting into the system. Then once you start earning, before you know it, you'll be fine with the cost of living. You'll get used to it and everything. So accommodation, cost of living is my number one. And also, if you're doing shopping, like maybe you want to do grocery shopping, it's also something that you also be like, wow, why is this expensive? And that, yes, it is expensive. Not like it's really expensive, like to them it's okay, but because you're coming from this part of the world where the price you used to buy before is different from this. And also you can also like you can also bargain, but in this part of where you don't need to, you can't even bargain, because the price is there. If they are doing sales, it is sales, but if it is not sales, the price is fixed. But back home, usually we do a lot of bargain, so they can give you a lot of discount and everything. But in this part of the world, it's not like that. The price is there, and that is it. They just put the fixed price, and that is it. Only when they're on sales, then they can give a lot of discounts. Okay. And also, do not try to convert. Don't be the type that always converts, because if you keep converting, I bet you will not want to buy anything. So it's not okay to convert. So cost of living is something that you have to be prepared about. Or if you have a family member that can also accommodate you, fine, then perfect, it's okay. Then maybe before you get your own place, you'll be able to stay with your family member and save before maybe you can settle down and start working before you get on play. That would be perfect. But in a situation whereby somebody does not have, people that don't have, they have to they have to take it the way it is. They have to rent the place, they have to pay for it and everything. But I just want to let you know that with time you'll get used to it. So that's just it. So cost of living is my number one. Then number two is the transportation. Transportation is something that we all need, because transportation is something that gets you to one place to another. So definitely transportation is something that we really need to be prepared about, because it's a challenge somehow. Because if you're in this part of the world, you know that buses are usually scheduled. You understand, like they run their buses on schedule. So if you're the type that don't keep to time, you're going to miss buses. And whenever you have an appointment, you don't come out early, you miss the buses, and before another one comes, it can take 10 to 15 minutes or even 20 minutes. Depends on the part of the country you are, or depends on the country you are. I also heard in London that the transportation system is like they really have a lot of buses and everything, so maybe their own schedule will be okay. But there are some countries that their schedule is like maybe every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes, so it depends. And even there are some places too that buses don't run. Depends on the country you are. So if you're in that kind of places, is always an issue. So you need to get ready for the Uber or the taxi. And taxi is not like the one we see back on where you just enter, you bargain it and enter the taxi. No, taxi in this part of the world is usually have meter, and the meter counts, and by the time it's counting and counting, it's really expensive if you're going on a far trip and everything. But also thank God for Uber. To Uber is not like the Uber is also so cheap, but at least it's still something that is an option. If you don't want to take taxi, you can take Uber, so that too can help too. So I would say you should get prepared. If you're the type that you're always late to meet up with something, or maybe you don't want to start entering bus and everything, you need to get ready. You need to get prepared to start taking for taxis and Uber, and whichever one you want to take. And if you also want to take the buses, you need to know the schedule, so that when you don't need to, the time, so you don't get to miss the buses. So that's for the transportation. And also in this part of the world, transportation car is very important. Like, it's a necessity, it's not a luxury. If you need, so you need it, you definitely need car. If you have an opportunity to get a car, it's good to have a car, so that you'll be able to like move around. It's a necessity, it is not a luxury. Even if it's not that kind of car that is so big, like so flashy and everything, but something that can carry you around, that you'll be able to like use anytime you want to use it. So car is very necessary. It's not a luxury. In this part of the world, it is necessary. So that's by the way. Now let's go to the third one. The third one is healthcare. Healthcare is something that nobody prays to be sick. Yeah, everybody prays for good health. Nobody prays to fall sick, and nobody prays to die. So the only thing it's normal for a human being to fall sick, but the thing is, we all pray for like good health, yes, and we also pray that we don't have life-threatening sickness that will lead to death, or that one will be nursing for the rest of his or her life and everything. Nobody prays for that. So, but falling sick is a normal thing that will definitely happen at a point in time in life. So if you're going to once you're sick, you go to the hospital. It's really expensive. That's why most people have insurance. You paying from your pocket is going to be too expensive for you. So that's why it's good to always have savings for emergency. It's always advisable to have savings for in case of emergency, like maybe one is sick and everything. Even if they don't charge you immediately because they have the AR, like the emergency, the emergency. Even if you don't have money immediately, but they will definitely bring your bill to you, mail you your bill. You definitely get your bill, and you have to pay it. So it is something that you have to get prepared about. And also, if you're the type that don't really fall sick like that, you might be lucky too. You don't fall sick, and maybe when you already start working and everything, and things get better, and before you know it, everything will be fine. But in terms of emergency, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you need to go to the hospital. It's not this in this Western country. It's not where you just go and say you want to go and buy antibiotics over the counter. No, this most medications are prescribed, except you want to see like the normal ones, like multivitamin and all those Tylenol and everything. Those ones you can find over the counter. But the ones that you really need to treat, maybe one ailment or the other and everything, or maybe one sickness that you really need attention and everything. So those things, those kind of illness, you have to get doctor's prescription. Without doctor's prescription, there is no way you're going to buy it. So this is something you have to get prepared about. Okay, so at the end of the day, these three things that I mentioned is something that with time you get used to. When you start working and you start having income in these countries and everything, it is something you get used to. And at the end of the day, you look back and just laugh over it. Oh, when I came, this is what I was just thinking. You understand? Because why it's not going to be new to you again? Because you're already earning, and it's not going to be expensive in your eyes like that. Because even if it's going to be expensive, but at least you're already getting income from that country, and you fit into the cost of living and everything. So I just want to let you know that with time, you can, like I said, you can only get better. So that's just it. So I hope this video helps somebody today, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I will see you on my next video. Signing out. Bye.